Hi students, this is Anusha working as a assistant professor in Vigyan Institute of Information Technology in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. In this lecture, I would like to discuss about ensemble methods. Before going to knowing about what is ensemble methods, I would like to give one example. Based on that example, you will get the good idea about what is ensemble methods. For example, if you want to purchase the new mobile with some budget, but you don't have any idea regarding about your new mobile, then what will you do? Then you immediately go to the shop and purchase the mobile directly with the idea of the salesperson? No, right? Then you are collecting the different feedbacks from different sources, right? Means you are collecting you are collecting the feedback for your new mobile from your friends and from your colleagues, and you are gathering the some of the customer posted reviews, and you are watching the videos. Based on that all feedbacks, you are getting the good idea about your new mobile, right? Based on that idea, you will go to shop and you are purchasing the new mobile, right? This is the idea which is applicable in the ensemble method. Now let's see what is the ensemble method. Here the ensemble method is a technique that combines the several models in order to produce one optimal model. Means as I given an example, before purchasing your new mobile, you are taking the different feedbacks from the different sources. In this way, here also we are combining the multiple models predictions to make a single prediction for our final model. Now let's see one diagram. From this we can easily get the idea about the ensemble methods. Here this is our considered data set, the data set which contains the training data set and the test data set. On this training data set, we have to apply the multiple models, model 1, model 2 up to model n. Based on our requirement, here we are construct the number of models. Here these models are nothing but the base models or the base classifiers. After applying all the models on our training data set, and we are making our models now we are Now let's see what is the ensemble method. Here the ensemble method is a technique that combines the several models in order to produce one optimal model, which means, as I am giving the example, before purchasing your new mobile, you are taking the multiple decisions from your colleagues and friends, right? In the same way, here also we are combining the multiple models predictions and to make a one prediction for our final model. See, let's see in this diagram. Here this is our data set, the data set which contains the training data set and test data set. On this training data set, we have to apply the multiple models. Here the model 1 and model 2 and model n. These number of models depending on our requirement. After applying the models on the training data set, then we have to make the predictions. Here after making the prediction, these predictions are we are make based on this test data. After we are getting all the predictions from all the models, then we have to combine all the predictions by using the voting classifier. What is this voting classifier? The voting classifier which gives the highest majority voting, means here we are taking the highest majority decision or the highest majority prediction. After taking the highest majority prediction or the highest majority decision, that we are making as the final prediction for our final model. This is nothing but the ensemble method. Why we are using the ensemble method? The ensemble method which is used to reduce the variance and to reduce the bias. What is this variance and what is this bias? Here the variance, which is nothing but which gives the variability of the model for our data set values. Suppose if our model gets the high variance, then the model will, due to this high variance, the variance which gives the variability of the model for our data set values. Suppose if the model will get the high variance, due to this high variance the model will get the overfitting. The overfitting is happen when the model captures the noise along with the underlying patterns of the data. Suppose for example in this diagram, this is the center point, which is our actual model. If the model gives the accurate results, if the model move away from this, then it tries to capture the outliers of the data. When it captures the outliers of the data, then the model does not contain that much space to including that data points, then the model will get the overfitting. Okay, then this model will get the overfitting, it will get the high variance. If the model will high variance, then we get the overfitting. This is about the variance. And next let us see bias. The bias, which is nothing but error. Here this error is occur when we are assumes the false assumptions for building our model in the training phase. When due to these false assumptions, the model will get the underfitting. Okay, see in this diagram, here the model will get the underfitting. Why? Because here the model unable to capture all the underlying patterns of the data. Means it takes only very less amount of data points for a building of a model. When the model will get the over underfitting, then it gets the high bias. See here, the model captures all the required data points, or the captures all the required underlying patterns of the data point. Then the model correctly fit. So here we get the low bias. So by using the ensemble method, we can decrease the variance by using the bagging method, and by using the ensemble methods, we are decreasing the bias by using the boosting method. Okay, now let's see different types of the ensemble models. In ensemble models, we have two types of the models. One is the parallel model and second one is the sequential model. Here the parallel model, which is nothing but here, see guys, here we are building the different models. These different models are nothing but the base classifiers, or the base models, are the weak learners. So in parallel model, when we are creating the base models or the base classifiers are in parallelly. So here we are creating the base classifiers in parallelly. So there is no dependency is occur. Means all models are trained independent to each other. And the example for this parallel model is the bagging. And the next model is sequential. Here the base classifiers are the trained dependent to each other. Why? Because all models are created sequentially, which means the output of the one base classifier taken as the input for the next base classifier. So here the dependency is occur. The example for the sequential ensemble method is boosting model. Now let's see one of the parallel ensemble model is bagging. Okay, here the bagging is a parallel ensemble model, and which is also known as the bootstrap aggregation. Why? Because the bagging build the one ensemble model by combining the bootstrap method and aggregation method. That's why it is called the bootstrap aggregation. Further we will see what is bootstrapping and the aggregation methods. Okay. Bagging is a way to reduce the variance, which means which reduce the overfitting of a model in prediction by training the several models, means which predicts the multiple models, not a single model, and combine all the predictions for a final prediction. Means in this ensemble bagging method, first we have to divide the given data set into number of subsets of the data sets with some random samples by using the bootstrap method. After that, we are apply the number of base classifiers on these divided subsets of the random samples. After that, we are make the predictions, and after that we are collect all the predictions and apply the aggregation method to find the final prediction for our final model. This is nothing but the bagging model. Okay, the sum of the algorithms, these are the sum of the algorithms which are follow this bagging principle. The algorithms are random forest, bagging, meta estimator. These are the two algorithms which are used in the bagging model. Now let's see. In previous we discussed about bootstrapping and aggregation methods which are used in the bagging to make one ensemble model. That's why we are called bagging is bootstrap aggregation. Now here we see individually what is bootstrapping and what is aggregation. Here the bootstrapping is nothing but which is the one of the statistical model. By using this, we are making the given data set into number of subsets with some random samples with some row sampling replacement. Here we are using the row sampling replacement, so we get the one sample multiple times. Let's see with some example, we can easily understand. This is the considered example. This contains the three attributes: observation attributes, and x is the one attribute and y is the another attribute. Here in observations we have the three observations. These are the x and y values. Okay, this is our complete data set. Here this data set is divided into different subsets by using this bootstrapping method. Now let's see. This is my considered first sample. The first sample which contains these observations. Look here, the third observation we are getting 2 times, means as we are using in row sampling replacement, here we get the one sample multiple times. So here we get the third observation as 2 times. And if I am considering the second sample for this data set, here I got the 3 different observations. Here there is no replacement is done. And if I am considering the next sample, here I got the second observation is 2 times. Means here I am taking the second observation 2 times for my third subset of the data set. So in this way we are dividing the given data set into different subsets of the random samples with row sampling replacement method. Okay, and by using this bootstrapping we are decreasing the overfitting of a model. Okay, now let's see aggregation. Here the aggregation, which name itself indicates, here we have to find the average. Means here the aggregation method we are using in our bagging model for finding the average on all the predictions of all the base classifiers for the final prediction for our final model. So here we are using the bootstrapping and aggregation methods in our bagging method for reducing the variance of our final model. Now let's see how bagging works. The bagging works in 3 different steps. The first step is bootstrapping data, means here we have to divide the given data set into different subsets of the data sets by using this bootstrapping data with the row sampling replacement process. The next step is building multiple classifiers. Here we are applying the multiple number of classifiers on the previous step, means multiple classifiers are applied on the different subsets of the data sets. After applying the multiple models on the different subsets of the data sets, then we are combining all the predictions of the different models by using some aggregation or the voting classifier for our final fit of the model. Now let's see with diagrammatically we can easily understand. first we have to consider our data set. This is our original data set. After that, this original data set have to divided into different subset of these samples by using the bootstrapping method. So here I am dividing the n number of samples of this data set, sample 1, sample 2 and up to n samples. After dividing the data set into different subsets, then I have to build a different models on these different samples. Here I am building the model 1 on the sample 1 and model 2 on sample 2 and model 3 on sample 3 and up to and model n build on the sample n. After building the models, then I have to make the predictions for all the models. Here the model 1 which predicts the 0 as the prediction and model 2 which gives the 1 as a prediction and model 3 which gives the 0 as the prediction and model n which gives the 0 as the prediction. Okay, after getting all the predictions of the model, then I have to apply the voting classifier or the aggregation. Here I want to apply the voting classifier. So when we are applying the voting classifier which takes the majority voting of the prediction, here we get the majority of the voting prediction is 0. Why? Because here we get the 0 prediction as number of times and it gets the majority vote. So when we are applying the voting classifier, finally we get the 0 prediction as our final prediction for our final model. In this way, the bagging algorithm works in 3 different steps. Now let's see another model of the ensemble method, that is the sequential method. In sequential method, we will learn about the boosting. Okay, the boosting is the sequential ensemble model, and as it is a sequential ensemble model, here the base classifiers or the weak learners are created in sequentially, which means here one base classifier output is act as the input for the next base classifier. So here all these weak classifiers are combined to form one strong classifier. For this conversion of all these weak classifiers into strong classifiers, the boosting model uses the reweightage for the misclassified observations in the each weak classifier. Okay. So here the boosting is a sequential process in which the more weightage is given to misclassified instances after every iteration. Means here the boosting which gives the most weightage to the means higher priority to the misclassified observations in the each weak classifier for rectification of those misclassified observations in the next step. This process is repeated until we get the right classification. So this is the iterative process. Next, under boosting, we are using the sum of the algorithm. The example for those algorithms are AdaBoost and gradient boosting and light gradient boosting and X giga boosting algorithm and cat boost algorithm. These are the algorithms we are used under the boosting principle. Now let's see how the boosting algorithm works. The boosting algorithm works in 4 different steps. In the very first step, the base algorithm which reads the data and assigns the equal weights to each sample observation. Means here before applying the first base classifier on the given data set, we have to give the equal weights to all the data points in a given data set. After assigning the equal weights to the given data set, we are applying our first base classifier. After applying the base classifier, we have to analyze the result of that base classifier. In that analysis, if I found any misclassified observations or the misclassified instances, then we have to give the more priority to that misclassified instances. After assigning the higher weights to that misclassified instances, then we are applying that output of our first base classifier to the input as the next base classifier, and then if I found any misclassifieds in that second base learner, then again we have to assign the higher weights to those misclassified observations in the second base classifier, and then apply that output to the next base learner. This process is repeat until we are getting our limited base learning classifiers are completed for our model. Means up to we are finding the right classification, we have to repeat this process. After completion of all the predictions or all the building of the base classifiers, then we have to combine all the outputs of the weak classifiers by using the voting classifier for finding the final prediction for our final model or our now diagram we will clearly get. This is our considered data set. In the very first step, before applying the first base learner or the base classifier on the data set, we have to assign the equal weights to all the data points, and then we are applying the model 1. If we found any misclassified observations in this model 1, then we are giving the more weights to that misclassified data points. After assigning the higher weights to that misclassified data points, then we are giving that output of this model. Now let's see with this diagram we can easily get the idea about working process of the boosting model. This is our considered data set. Before applying the first base classifier on this data set, we have to assign the equal weights to all the data points. After that we are applying this base classifier. Okay, after applying this base classifier, if we have found any misclassified data points in this model, then we are assigning the higher weights to that misclassified data points. After assigning the highest weights to that misclassified data points, we have to update the data set with that misclassified data points. Then we are applying that data set to the next base classifier. Same here also, if we found any misclassified data points, again we have to assign the higher weights to that misclassified data points for rectification in next base classifier, and then we are applying this updated data set on the next model. If we found any misclassified observations in this, again we have to give the higher priority to that misclassified data points and update the data set and apply that data set to the next base classifier. This process is repeat until we get the best classifier or the correct classifier or the right classifier or our strong classifier. After completion of all the weak classifiers predictions, then finally we are combine all the predictions by using the voting classifier or the averaging method to form a final prediction for our final model. This is how the boosting algorithm works. Now let's see applications of the ensemble methods. The first application is banking. In banking, the ensemble models are used for identification of the fraud customers or the fraud transactions and the loyal customers and customer segmentation. And the next application is malware. In malware identification or the malware classification also we are using the ensemble models for classification of the computer virus, computer worms or the computer spyware with efficiently. The ensemble models also used for in fraud detection. The fraud detection used for finding the fake customers and the fake credit card customers for any some insurance companies and the banks. And the next is the medicine. In the medicine, the ensemble models are used for identification of the medical diagnosis like neurocognitive diagnosis, which is based on the RMI data sets. And the next is the intrusion detection. The ensemble models also used for intrusion detection in the computer networks for identification of the intruders and finding the anomaly codes with less error rate. And then next is the ensemble models also used in the land cover mapping. Here the land cover mapping is one of the application of the earth observing satellite sensors based on the remote sensors, which is used for identification of the land cover objects like rivers, lakes, buildings, roads. For better and efficient identification of those land cover objects, the ensemble techniques are used with boosting method. The next is the advantages of the ensemble methods. Let's see here. By using the ensemble methods, we are reducing the high variance or the overfitting. By using the one of the ensemble technique is bagging, and the second is we can also reduce the underfitting, which can be reduced by using the boosting method. And the next advantage is it works well with the interactions. Means here the some interaction of the base learners is done by calculating the net error in each learning step. And next one is it manages the higher dimensional data set very well. As it has a scalability nature, it can works with the very high data set as well as the low data set. If it takes the very high data set, which is divided into different subsets of the data sets by using the bootstrapping method, so it can easily work with even the given data set is very huge. The next is it gives the accurate results. Here the ensemble models gives the accurate results by using both bagging and boosting. If we take the bagging, it gives the accurate results by giving the equal priority to all the results of the base classifiers, and as well as the boosting also gives the accurate results by giving the more priority to the high accurate results and the low accurate results of the base classifiers. So these are the advantages of the ensemble methods. Now let's see some of the disadvantages of the ensemble methods. One of the disadvantages of the ensemble method is it is difficult to measure the correlation between classifiers from different types of the learners. Here the correlation may be occur between one classifier to another classifier. Why? Because here we are learning from different types of the base classifiers. The next disadvantage is here it takes the more time and memory constraints. Why? Because here we are training the multiple models. For training of multiple models, it takes the more time as well as it takes the more time constraint. Why? Because for storing of the multiple predictions, it takes more time, more memory. And the next is its learning concept is difficult to understand. Why? Because sometimes the final learners may not be accept the best idea, and some of are give the objection, some are give the not objection. So it is difficult to understand. And these are the textbooks which are prescribed in your syllabus, and these are the reference books also given in your syllabus for your better getting of your knowledge in your subject. And these are the references which are used in your used in this PPT for making a content. Thank you.